All right, we're live on chaoticradio.com, the Zig Zone with Bike Rally. We got in-house, of course, America Mike. We got our guest rider, Vince Riva from Slow Ride. We got Freight Train, finally made it back again. And, of course, the all famous for JJ. All right.
How y'all doing?
This fucking guy brought dark tequila, man.
Yeah, reposado.
Fuck Blanco, man.
Good stuff.
That's what Scott says. And Scott's not here.
I says, oh man, he brought dark. I'm looking at American Mike. I said, he brought dark, man. It needs to be Blanco. It's dark. And then American Mike's like, it's great.
Yeah, they're both good. Turn his mic up a little. They're both good. I just like the reposado better.
Say something.
Yeah, they're all good.
American Mike
It's just a matter of what you pair it with, just like wine.
Right?
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah, so you should pair a Blanco with a reposado.
Cheers, guys. All right.
Cheers.
There. Now I don't have bad breath anymore. So at least that way I know that when we go on the air, it just smells like booze. It's better than smelling like shit breath. But after complaining a few times, people kind of got the hint. So, you know, they're either brushing their teeth or after they get off, before they get off the air, after they get off the air, they wash the mic sponge.
And so that's probably why the wife said, brush your teeth before you go.
Right? Oh, man. The heat's already started. So because it's hot, I just want to make sure that everybody still realizes the acronym ATGAT. All right? Go ahead. Freight Train, tell me what ATGAT means.
All the gear, all the time.
There you go. And I'm going to repeat myself. I know I say this quite often when it comes to the Bike Rally Show, is that you actually dehydrate a lot faster if you do not wear your proper protective gear. If you just have like a chest protector on, you have your skin exposed, you are actually dehydrating yourself a lot faster. And so if you do that, well, not only that, skin, I try to tell my students too. They say, well, what's it? I get one of those. I had one this weekend that said, oh, so what's it like to crash?
Oh, man.
You don't want to know.
You know,
Here, stand here. Let me drag you across the parking lot by your feet.
I says, well, you know what? I'm not here to talk about any kind of incidents I've had, and I'm trying not to use the word crash. I always say use the word mishap. You know, in my classes. I mean, what word do you use, Vince?
Crash.
Do you use it like crash, dude? What do you use, Mike?
Pretty much that, yeah.
Oh, do
Crashing.
you? Okay.
Yeah.
I guess I'm just trying to be a softie, trying to soften the blow. So if you ever have a mishap, you know.
I say taste asphalt.
So I said, okay, I'll tell you what. If you want to know what road rash feels like, at 30 miles an hour, it's going to be the same feeling as if I took, Ray was the guy who was right next to me, and I said, if I took Ray's bare arm right here, and I took a belt sander and just pull the trigger and drop around his arm. That's what it's like at 35 miles an hour. How often are you going to be doing 35 miles an hour? You know, then they start thinking, well, geez, well, not that much. Okay, then what's the normal speed you're going to be doing, you know?
70.
Right, you know, 65, 70. There, now imagine that. So, you know, remember, folks, ATGAT, it's all the gear all the time. Just do it, even though it's hot. Just do yourself a favor.
Well, pretty much anybody's probably fallen off a skateboard at least once in their life.
Right.
You could relate it to that. Like, remember how fast you were going down a hill and you're probably only going like 15?
At best, 10 miles an hour.
You know,
right?
we're dating ourselves. Every time I get in class and we get to, okay, we're going to do a swerve, and you want to have the motorcycle moving underneath you, and your body stays still, like on a skateboard, and it's the blank look. Huh?
Right. What's a skateboard? Actually, you don't see too many skateboards nowadays, but unless you go to like the little skateboard parks. Yeah. Now they have them for free. You know, the city has them. There's one in Harupa Hills right there, right off of Harupa and right on the side of the
there's
60.
one in Rancho, too.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, they have them out there. That's kind of cool. They didn't have when I was a kid. I went to Pipeline when I lived
tell
in
you what they had
Carson.
when I
That's
was
where
a
Tony
kid.
Alva was.
Metal wheels and
Right?
screwed onto the bottom of a plank.
No, yeah. That wasn't called a skateboard then, Mike.
Yes, it was, because it was a board with skate wheels on it.
Yep.
It's called a rock crusher.
That's what they
Did
call
you
it
do that
now.
when it touched a rock, it just stopped.
Oh, yeah. instantly.
Oh my goodness, man! So
things have changed so much out on the streets. You need the gear now. It's not like they're, in the old days there was only 10 cars. Now there's 100 cars, and they're all not paying attention, and they're all coming after you. So, gear is more important today than ever.
It's true. And it doesn't matter even if you're going, down the block or something like that. A lot of most accidents happen within 1 mile from your home.
God, am I glad I'm farther away.
I'm trying to get my Kaotic Radio live here. I know we are live on Kaotic Radio. There it is, right there. We're live on KaoticRadio.com. Download that app on your phone. It's very easy to do. It takes about 15 seconds, and you are ready to rock and roll. We're also on YouTube, Kaotic Radio Live, and, of course, obviously, on Facebook. So we've got a few people. Mike Polero.
Nice.
Instructor. Yeah, he just had his first IRC in Wrightwood. I taught with Kirsch that weekend, and they did an IRC in Wrightwood that Monday. I was trying to get up there, but I couldn't. I just couldn't do it. Couldn't get.
Yeah,
by.
and he's ARC certified now.
Oh, is he really?
Yeah.
Nice. Good job, Mike Polero.
He's the man.
Working hard.
Oh yeah.
Good guy.
Awesome.
So I just first shout out there is go ahead and give Slow Ride a shout.
Hey, folks, if you want to learn how to ride a motorcycle like a police officer does in, about 6 hours, give us a shot at slowridemotorcycletraining.com.
It's a great course. I haven't taken it yet, but I have done some extra, I call it the staircase. And because he was doing, Vince was doing the slow ride, and I was watching it, me and Readout.
Yeah, Mike was actually in the
I was in the
Oh,
course.
that's right. Mike was there.
And that was the,
almost dropped his bike, too.
That was the 90-degree offset.
Right.
And so I'm sitting there watching America Mike. Dude, what'd you think of that exercise?
I didn't like it. I think I need my handlebars to be closer to do that kind of thing.
It takes you way out of your comfort
It does.
zone because you're going lock-to-lock turns, one right after another. And I think there's a progression of 7 lock-to-lock turns in that exercise. So it does take you out of your comfort zone. A lot of people get into that car brain theory, like, my handlebars, as far as it goes, it can go further, but it won't. And then they start backing it off, and it causes problems.
Yeah, well, I can't even get it to lock because I feel like I'm so stretched out that it's just uncomfortable and unbalanced.
Yeah.
And I'm unbalanced anyway.
That's a practice of technique. Body position helps a lot.
Yeah.
Remember when I was kind of coaching everybody on how to bring their elbow in close to the body,
Yep.
as the handlebar comes into your body. But setup of the bike is huge too. And hopefully we'll get a chance to talk about some of that before the night's over, because that's a...
Yeah, it was pretty interesting. And then, so me and Rita were watching it. You'd already taken off, and we finished our class. And I said, hey, Vince, I want to do that staircase exercise. And he's looking at me like, no, I seen you guys doing this and doing this. He's like, oh, okay, yeah. Set it up. We went through there. Rita almost dropped his bike, too.
Staircase exercise?
Well, it's not easy. So
I did it.
That's
No, it wasn't.
Turn
I'm baby.
Can you
Okay.
explain what the exercise
So let's
is for
go.
the listeners and me?
You have
Asking for a friend.
series of gates. You'll actually ride in one gate, have to do a full lock, turn, lean the bike in, almost do a full circle, but about 180 degrees into it, you start pulling out and setting up for a full lock turn all the way to the other side. So it's one lock after another, and you're snaking down the range through all these gates. They're about 25 feet from one gate lead to the next, and they're about 28 feet across.
Nice.
So it's pretty tight.
It is.
Pretty tight.
It wasn't easy. So when I did it, and I thought about you. I'm like, oh shit, American Mike's doing that thing on that big ass bike, dude. Then I'm looking at Rita. I'm like, oh, fuck that.
Yeah, he was on a victory as well.
yeah,
But then Vince says, it seems like you said doing it on a sport bike. You said you thought would be a little bit harder than would it be on a bike like yours.
Most people on sport bikes look at it and say, well, my sport bike has a very limited turning radius.
It does.
If you look at your owner's manual, most sport bikes say they can turn within an 18-foot circle. It's just getting it to lean to the right amount of lean angle to accomplish that turn. What you were
At
doing,
a creepy crawly pace.
yeah, but what you were
Right.
doing, and I'd never seen it done quite like that, but you were using ARC technique to actually keep your bike upright. You were sliding your body. I was kind of commenting. I took a video of you, and I was commenting. I was watch him slide his butt across the saddles, left to right. He's actually kind of balancing the bike with his body positioning. Never seen it done quite like that before. Matter of fact, in our class, we don't train that way.
Right.
So a little background on that. When I have, I know Adam Herzing. Herzing? Yeah. He wants to come to the class as well as a few of the other IRC and ARC instructors want to go through it as well.
Dude, that'd be great if I was in the class with Adam. I dig Adam.
Like
Adam's a great instructor, man. I'm telling you, man. I think just after taking the ARC 1 and 2 with him, was just, I mean, my classroom module was even more impressive.
He's a very gifted instructor, has a way of really engaging students, and when he takes you out on the range, he becomes even more engaging.
Right.
So he makes everything seem very simplified when, other times you go through the course and it's kind of daunting. But the way he presents it just makes you feel more comfortable.
Yes, exactly. So we got my Polaro. I'll roll out for that.
There you go.
There we go. Okay, so see, there we go.
Sunday
My
the
Polaro.
24th.
We get Adam, me.
Yeah, it's going to be.
Do it again, Mike.
Thinking about it.
What's the date? I'll come out.
24th.
Dial out there.
Now
we get Freight Train out there.
Oh, I love slow speed stuff, man. That's like, I love it.
Now you've
That's right up my
done
alley.
a couple of courses before, and I think you didn't you just go through one with.
Yeah, it's called ART, Advanced Rider Training. They're out of Canada.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah, you took that
with Quinn Redeker.
Quinn, yes.
And Ryan that owns the school. He's a motor officer up in Canada. And he decided to just start his own school, and he's had it going for a while. And now he came down here to the States, and it's a 2.5 days of riding. And it is intense.
And some of it you did in the rain, too.
And we did, yeah. The first day was all in the rain. But you know what? It's really cool. Even in the rain, not a problem.
A little bit of slide, it's nice.
Not even that. It's technique.
Yeah.
Technique is everything. And even with it raining, the technique was just like, this is cake. Because I was worried at first going, really, we're going to have this leaned over like as far as we can go and it's raining? You know what? The technique is just like, that saves it all.
But even though on some of the video you put, I seen a couple tires kind of get a little wiggle.
A little bit.
Yeah, but nobody panicked.
No.
And that's the whole thing. You just don't panic.
Yeah, it's all in the clutch control.
I was just covering the fucking mic again, dude. I see. I keep hold. I finally figured out why when I talk, and then people are going, "Hey Zig, your phone is muted." It's like, no, because the mic's right there, and I always do this.
Operator error.
You know what I mean?
We need to get Zig a
hold your phone upside down.
Selfie stick, you know.
Then I'll be
There you
upside
go.
down. I did that once, man, and the whole thing was sideways, dude. I swear to God.
So we're gonna invest in a selfie stick so you can just hold it and then won't be touching the phone.
Or a stand, something.
There you go.
Yeah. See, was Mike Player with you at that one?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. Advanced Rider Training Canada with Ryan Austin from RCMP. Check him out. And then we've also got Gabriel. Give him a shout out here. And there was my old guitar player, man. He's like more of like the political kind of guy, you know. I need to get Dean Sacramone inside here do one of these days. He's the only one that thinks that's like me, but he's smarter. I'm a dumbass. Actually, Dutchie said that. Something said Dutchie posted something. Okay, I guess I'm stupid. And I said, okay, well, that makes two of us, but I claim Captain Stupid. Oh, my goodness. So, well, Mike, you just went to Italy.
I did.
Yeah.
Nice.
But you didn't ride a scooter.
No, I did not.
Oh,
Why did you not ride a scooter? You told me.
Well, I didn't have any time for starters, but there's no way I'm riding in Italy anywhere where there's another car. Because the lines in the road are merely a suggestion.
that's pretty much anywhere but the States.
Somebody painted that right here.
People go everywhere.
These people, they do the most stupid things you've ever seen in your life, and they just don't care who else is there. I'm coming over. I'm smaller than you, so I can fit in that little spot. and the guy in the taxi says, okay, I'll just move over because here I come. It's not going to happen, ever.
So if you guys want to go on to my page on Facebook, Zig Ray, actually Mike Polero, I actually put the website up for advancedridertraining.com. So if you want to get yourself signed up, we'll find out when they're going to be down here again. And, click in and get yourself signed up. It might be a cool road trip to Canada. It's vacation time. It's probably got to be a lot cooler in Canada than it is here right now.
Maybe.
I'm just saying. But speaking of courses, Mike is like one of those guys like me. I love to be a student. I love to go into the different classes, which is my next one is going to be the slow ride. I've been hammering on that. But Mike Freight Train Alpine has done a lot. You've done a lot of the Gymkhana stuff too.
Oh, Gymkhana.
Yeah, right near my house at California Speedway. This guy, man, doesn't even come by to visit. I'm teaching. He just rides right by, honks at me. Hey, what's
That's
up?
because I'm trying to bait you to come out and ride. Like, let's just go do this. It's really cool. Again, a totally different discipline than everything else. And it's just like having a toolbox and having a million tools in it. So each course you take, Motor Gymkhana, slow ride, advanced rider clinics with total control, it teaches you how to handle your bike and how to keep yourself out of trouble, how to react to a situation. Because you can't sit there and think about, okay, well, what do I do now that this car just pulled out in front of me? There was no time for that. You just need to have it already automatic up here in your head that, boom, it's going to happen. Okay, what do I need to do in this case? So all these different courses you take, it'll teach you the tools to keep you safe out on the streets. And, then beyond that, go out on the track. If you really want to push your limits, go on the track. And that'll teach you a lot too. The streets are not the track. The canyons are not a track. The mountains are not a track. Just, you were saying when you were teaching up in Wrightwood when we passed you, we literally rode 270 miles that day. So we started out here in San Bernardino, went up the back way to Big Bear, all the way across the ranges, ended up through Wrightwood by you guys, and then the Newcombs, and then down the hill to the bottom. And great ride. It was an awesome, awesome day.
So you guys probably you went to Big Bear. So you went through Crestline or the backside of Big Bear to the Crestline to the 138 or Big Bear through the high desert and then over to the 138 and then through Wrightwood. Right?
Yeah, the back way into Big Bear. Was it 38?
Gregory?
The 138.
No.
Oh, you're talking about the 38. Oh, yeah. If you're going to the backside of Big Bear out through Redlands, that's the 38.
Yeah. We met up in Mentone and went through that way.
Such a great road, dude. It's it's all sweepers and stuff. Actually, that's where me and American Mike we did that in was that January? And then all of a sudden I was like going,
when it was snowing. And,
yeah.
We got halfway up to Big Bear. Was it? I don't remember. Was it Big Bear?
Yeah, we got halfway to Big Bear, and all of a sudden, like
this little bit of
tires
ice on the
started
road,
sliding a little bit, and I'm like, well, I'm starting to feel I'm out a little bit of my comfort zone, and American Mike's not going to say nothing. He's going to go, I'm just going to keep going.
Ever since that first ride, where I'm just not going to give up.
Right? I just pull over. I'm like going, you know what? Hey, Mike, I'm feeling a lot of comfort zone. How about you? Yeah. So we turned around, went up to 330. Oh no, we took because the 330 was closed, and then we went to the 18 and went to Rocky's Roadhouse. If you guys are ever in Running Springs, dude, I'm telling you, Rocky's Roadhouse. We wanted to go to BJ's, which is in Big Bear, which is bomb. A little pricey, but bomb. But Rocky's Roadhouse, man, huge sandwiches. Oh my goodness, man. If I can't finish a sandwich, that's a big sandwich.
Is that the one that makes bomb pizza too?
No.
I don't think they make pizza at all.
No, neither is BJ's. I think you're talking like in Big Bear. BJ's is just outside the.
There's somewhere running Springs.
It's in Big Bear, but it's like on the outside skirt of Big Bear. But
Rocky's is right across from the gas station.
Yes,
and the turnoff there when you get into that.
Yeah,
yes,
and it took us 15 minutes just to get there.
There's lots of choices.
Oh yeah, God, man,
traffic
so
was
much
horrible.
Traffic. You ever want to go up and go skiing, man? I'm like, all I want to do is ride a fucking motorcycle. There should be a motorcycle lane.
Yeah, but even better to ride now because the roads are clean and it's nice and warm, so your tires aren't going to get cold. So you got nice grip. But you ride up in the winter and you got cinder all over the sides of the shoulders and sand and dirt, and it's a little sketchy. So you got to take it easy. But you know what? This time of year is great. Just like this last weekend, it was like 85 degrees. It was just unbelievable. It was awesome.
Nice.
It was hot on the range, so it's already starting that whole heat thing.
It's all right.
What
It's all good. I'll take it. Some people hate heat. I love heat.
I'm
just not wearing my arrow stitch in that stuff.
Well, see, my thing is I like to wear it. I mean, love to wear protective gear. I just that's that confidence feeling when once you put strap on your gear, it's like okay, good.
It's like a football player. I'm all armored up. I can go kill somebody.
Right now, see, you guys didn't catch that. I said strap on my gear, and then fucking JJ.
Yeah, we're ignoring that.
Yeah.
See, but JJ teases you, and then I tease, Redoubt when he's here.
Right.
He's always going out for those one-liners.
This is true, man.
But yeah, I was. I don't know if you saw me, but I had my full suit on. So
yeah, you did.
When I get up in the mountains, I like be full suited up, top to bottom.
I have never seen a video or picture of you without your gear.
Thank you, sir.
Which I mean, as an instructor, I mean, God forbid you actually practice what you preach. I see other instructors. I'll run into them like, "Hey, what's up?" and chest protector. I'm like, really? Dude, really? What if you run into a student? What if you go to Newcomb's Ranch, for instance, and you get a student like, hey, what's up, Vince?
Hey, what happened to AdGat?
And
True, it happens.
It's just like all tanned arms and everything, and half shell helmet. The student's like going, what the fuck's up with this guy?
You don't.
I saw Redial in here one day, and he's wearing like a sweatshirt.
Yeah,
but the damn thing's got armor in it.
It does.
Yeah, it's a Kevlar.
Yeah, it's
what was
Kevlar.
it?
Yeah,
I know.
Yeah, there's some deception in some of the gear.
Yeah.
It looks like you're wearing jeans, but there's actually Kevlar.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's good stuff.
All right. So there's some gear. So I want to get the biker alley set up so everybody can just have like their own view. I mean, I'm always kind of running the show. So I'm gonna let the reins.
We're taking over. Woohoo!
Nice.
REIGNS, right?
No.
Yeah, that's the
that's
Ontario
correct.
rein.
That's what the king does.
Isn't that the hockey
reins
team
is the
right here?
REINS that you're holding on to on a horse.
That's what I just
he's
said.
taking the reins.
Put the
Yeah,
G
those
in there.
reins.
Oh, I did? Oh, okay.
He's thinking of the rein, the hockey team.
I
over
told
there.
you I'm Captain Stupid.
Oh wait, there's no G in that rein.
Well, and the thing is, dude, I was like one of the top spellers, and I always enter the spelling bee contest. I mean, I'd be like one of the last 3 or 4 people. I can't spell for shit now, dude.
What happened?
SHIT.
Beer.
Oh, I better stop now.
BER. Beer.
Well, that's Bayer.
Oh, we got all kinds of people watching. See, Larry's on, my wife's on, Christopher
Yeah,
Walsh. Hello, everybody.
Yeah, give them all
Welcome to the
you
show.
see more than me. Keep giving shout outs. See, for some reason, when it goes in the thing, am I right with JJC? It kind of stops. It stops for some reason when you get so many. Christopher Walsh.
That's weird.
Dude, that guy's, that's right. He said, fuck that, gear all the time. That's right. Christopher Walsh just got back from Isle of Man.
Yeah, I know. That's on the bucket list for sure.
And he was like chilling in a castle, dude. If I'm not correct, Chris, you were like chilling in a castle on the Isle of Man Island, dude. I mean, fuck, dude, you gotta be kidding me. That's on my bucket list. That's on my bucket list. We should just do like a planned trip, dude. I mean, it's expensive. I mean,
I'm ready.
I'm thinking it's like probably 3,000 or 4,000.
You got to ride.
Hey, Chris.
You can ride the whole island before, so you got to set it up to where you can get a bike. I actually bumped into a guy through Facebook that he's actually a motor officer in Ireland, and he's like, "Yeah, anytime you want to come over, let me know, but give me about a year advance notice because it takes that long to get yourself set up, get a bike reserved, get a room reserved, because it's so popular that you really got to plan well ahead." So I don't know how much it is. I don't really care, but down the road, as soon as we retire, that's like. Wife and I are going there. We're going to go ride it. That's it. And watch the whole event. That'd be.
Oh, you're gonna wait till retirement? I guess I'd have to.
5 years.
I work so goddamn much, man. Between my shop and teaching, and of course, the Zig Zone. Shit.
Gotta take some vacay though.
Here's one of the things with that I have to admit when it comes to like me and Vince. You're not scheduled. Got nothing to do. All right, I'm going to go for a ride. Somewhere during the ride, like going, well, okay, I'm going to go down to the range.
Yeah, no kidding.
And just show up and just start throwing cones. Hey, what's up, Vince? How you doing, Zig? All right. I'm setting up the other side of the range. Do you guys do AMO? Give AMO a shout out.
AMO Academy of Motorcycle Operation in Pasadena, California. We're also the school that teaches for Glendale Harley Davidson. We do all the classroom and the range training for them, so we're very involved in them. And now we're actually doing the 3-wheel with Help me out with the names there.
BRP.
Can
The
Spider
BRP,
Canyon.
thank you. Yes. Haven't been out on the range to see that yet, but we are now, I think it's, I forget what it's, go to the websites, AMOSocal.com and find out all the things, all the schedules there. But yeah, we're doing the Can-Am deal now too. So
Well, now
Very good. Well, actually, right now they're giving the three-wheel clinic
free
$0 for free.
June through
And,
July.
Yeah, through July. So we actually, Vince, you were there this weekend. On
Yeah,
Saturday, you
teaching
guys were
class,
doing
yeah.
the three-wheel clinic, and then on Sunday, you were doing the IRC.
Correct.
Next to me teaching the BRC, which is, I loved it. I love having two ranges, so when they're running an advanced course or a three-wheel course, you know, people are like, oh, wow, there's just so much to this. And it was great because in classroom one, we talk about, you know, just, you know, getting themselves set up and what it's like to be on a motorcycle, get control. Then you kind of do your gradual steps. Then when you get into classroom two, now we're doing the application of what you're actually going to experience in the street. So now we're going to get you confident cornering. Then we start going through all this other stuff and the different elements and what have you. But in the cornering portion of it, you know, and you get the guys. It's the guys that I was talking about earlier that have that road there that are actually usually are the ones you make the most corrections to. And when you actually explain it and then they just do their own thing, then all of a sudden the bike's unstable and I go, you know what? Check it out. We're taking a break. Look at Vince and Allie over there. See that class right over there? Watch this. And when the students are going around, it's just because you had the guy in the Beamer was kicking it.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah,
Talented rider. He's gone through quite a bit of training courses on his own. The majority of them are free, but you know that's a good thing. Go to any school you can get any training you can get, and now he wants to get more of a formalized training in his toolbox. So now he's going through the IRC, his next step ARC. He's eventually going to go all the way up to track days and the track clinics.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. He's
Nice.
going to be very, very good. Very talented rider. He just needs to slow down.
Right. Yeah, you can tell that he was, when he was doing the corner exercises, at first he was like, you know, but when he got more comfortable, he started getting the throw a little too much, started going a little light. And I was sitting there with my students and I go, see what Allie and Vince can tell him right now is to slow down a little bit, you're too much on too soon. And you can tell by her mannerisms what she was saying. So we're talking about the site SoCal Motorcycle Training. That's you can give them a shout.
SCMT411.com.
Yep, SCMT411.com. And they do all 3-level advanced courses. And then what he was talking about as far as the track, Freight Train was talking about the track, Total Control Training. It's a track clinic. And it's at Horse Thief Mile, which is a simulation of a mountain pass. It's got 15 turns. It's uphill, downhill, on camber, off camber, decrease in radius, link curves. Did I miss anything? Did I miss anything?
The hills are steeper.
Yeah, there's a
Yeah, I
few
know.
bit of dirt.
yeah, if you get a little square, there's no cars to run into and guardrails and mountains, so
Exactly.
it's safe.
Yeah, and that's why I started to, once I see my sons, when they started getting more used to cornering and they started getting their speed ups, I noticed that when we would go to like, I'm covering the fucking mic again. Sorry about that. Yeah, he's gonna duct tape my fingers
Yeah.
together.
It's the muffled Zig throw.
So, right. So when I started seeing my boys get a little bit faster and faster, I'm like going, and I kept telling them, okay, guys, just calm down. It's not a race. They're young.
It works
and I
really well on
can't- and I-
teenage boys, doesn't it?
Right. And I can't be mad at him because you know what? It's basically I would be a hypocrite. I mean, Vince, you'd be a hypocrite. Freight Train, you'd be a hypocrite. We've all been there, done that, So, but once I took them to the track, all of a sudden it flipped a switch. So now they calmed down and in the hills. They still have to make it a little fun. But the track is the only way to go. I'm telling
Yes,
you.
and Total Control Training. So it's totalcontroltraining.net. You have to take either the Advanced Rider Clinic 1 first or 2, but you need to do 1 to go to 2 because that's the way they were set up. So you got to take the Advanced Rider Clinic 1 to be able to go do the track clinic because they want to talk about stacking things. They want you to learn in the stair step just like we do in the MTC. And then you go to the IRC Intermediate Rider Clinic and then the Advanced Rider Clinic, and you just keep moving up. So you build on the skill set. So you can keep
Absolutely.
building your skills.
The
Right.
continual feedback. Once you're actually on the track for their track clinic. You get feedback after you do, 3 or 4 laps. They'll bring you in. They have spotters on some of the major corners where they can see the majority of stuff you're doing, and then they give you right there hands-on feedback. So it's not like you finished the whole thing, and what are you talking about? It's so instantaneous. You can go, okay, I could correct that on the next car.
Yeah, the observation points.
Yeah, those.
Yeah, they're all in radio communication, like Vince was talking about. They're in radio communication, so they'll flag you in and give you a real quick talk. I mean, it's very short, just a few words, and send you back out because they want you to get the time in. They're not going to sit there and talk to you for an hour. They give you 3 or 4 points. Go work on this. Go. And then bring you back in and keep refining.
It's like on the range. 5-second correction. Boom. That's it. Don't sit there and have a conversation with him. My buddy Coop Jordan, he moved to Coop. I hope I got this right. I think he moved to Bakersfield. Anyways, but he's still got his Seabear 600R. So, I miss you too, brother. And then Chris Ross said Douglas Lighthouse. That's where he stayed at. Douglas Lighthouse. So... bucket list, guys. Okay, so now we know that's where we're going to stay.
Who's going to be the mastermind?
I wonder how much. Hey, Chris, how much? I'm just kind of curious. How much did this whole trip cost so I can start saving up for it? Do I need to take it out of my retirement fund, or do I need to sell one of my motorcycles? I mean, I could do that. That's not a problem. I mean, eventually, it's like my boys want my motorcycles. Yeah, Dad, you can't, sell your 87 Gixxer. I want that. You can't sell your 83 GS 1100. I want that. And I don't want to sell them. I actually had a guy come in the other day, or a couple months ago. See my 83? This guy, I swear, I thought this guy was going to start jerking off right there. And he's like, oh my God. He goes, where did you get that? And I'm like, I found it. I bought it $500. He goes, man, I'll give you 3,000 for it right now. Dude, really? If you whip out 15,000 right now, I'll sell it to you. Other than that, you can just take that $500 and
what Zig's talking about his shop in San Bernardino called Avenger Cycles.
Avenger Cycle Works.
Is Avenger Cycle Works? I knew you were going to. I was going to say, okay, I need to finish it off. Is it a .com? How do we find you?
AvengerCycleWorks.com.
I always send people out there. These people on Facebook. They're going, oh, do you know a shop out here? And yeah, here you go. That's there.
Me. 5 stars, baby.
Yeah, but stop by and check it out. He's got bikes everywhere. It's awesome. It's just like, oh yeah.
Oh shit.
What?
Okay, Chris came back. Chris came back.
Did you just find out you have bikes everywhere?
Yeah. No. The price.
Actually, he said when we were talking about Horse Thief, he said if you have to get off at Horse Thief, it could be ugly, and he's right.
Yeah.
And remember, it's 1 mile with 15 turns. That's your 15 turns is what it's the same at Streets of Willow, which is a little over 2 miles. So think about that. That's a very technical course.
And the hills are steeper too.
Let's start. Let's start from America Mike. What do you think
for that?
A week a month, element,
including airfare and everything else.
Yeah, everything
about $12,000.
Okay,
I'm going to go a little lower. I'm going to say about 6.
Okay.
I cheated. I seen the screen, so I know how much. But I'm like, okay, does that include the bike rental so you can go right on the island? You got to answer me that because that's got to happen. If you're going to go that far, you got to be able to rent the bikes and go ride the island. I think they give you like 2 days before they take these groups out and you just go ride the whole island, the course they're going to race on.
Oh, if I spent all that kind of says 10 to 15K.
Wait, I don't even get to go.
Woo!
I was going to say, is this like Price is Right?
Oh. No, see, you already see my screen. I'm not going to.
I just took a trip.
No, I wasn't looking at your
Europe.
screen. I can't see that well.
10 to 15K. That's all I know. If I'm spending that kind of money, man, I am riding on.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna go halfway across the earth.
Thank you, Chris, for Walt. Yeah, thank you for answering that. So yeah, if you go on my page, you'll see a lot of stuff posted for pretty much all the time for the TT because it is insanity to watch. I mean, these guys are just ridiculous. I mean, if you want to see a leader bike ringed out to the max, go watch the TT. I mean, I don't know anywhere on this planet that you can ride a leader bike that fast.
Oh,
I mean, these guys are something else, fast.
Man. And then Jordan typed in. So Jordan is my buddy Jordy. Is actually he's not here because he's studying. This weekend he starts his IT instructor training. So I'm really stoked. He's being sponsored by Motorcycle Training Services. Tom Edgar up in Wrightwood and Adelano. They're teaching in Wrightwood now, which is where this fucking guy just decided to say, hey, what's up, Zig?
I'm cruising by.
Like Superman,
you know what?
Like Superman waving from hey, I'm just moving the satellite. I'm gonna wave down at you.
When we got to Newcomb's, I was literally like, I'm gonna turn around right back. I almost did it. Then I was looking at the clock, going, it's 4 o'clock. Shit, we have a dinner to go to with the family. I got to get home. My wife would kill me. So I'm like, all right, got to go home. So next time.
All right.
Was that Steve Kirsch on the other end?
No, it was not.
Ah, okay.
That was Gene.
Okay.
Gene,
I couldn't tell.
Yeah, it was just me, Gene, and Jordy shadowing, obviously. So
because if he's getting time with Steve too, it's
no, he did because the weekend that Mike Polero was him and Steve and Mike taught the IRC at in Wrightwood on that Monday.
You sure it wasn't the ARC one?
Maybe it was the ARC level.
Hey, Polero, you still listening? Hey,
yeah, maybe
I'm pretty sure there was an ARC one.
Yeah, maybe it might have been ARC. I'm sorry, Mike. If I was wrong, dude, I'm sorry. Just you can chime in. Let me know if I was incorrect. But that weekend I was working with Steve Kirsch, that guy is just absolutely just so fucking knowledgeable when it comes to actually teaching a curriculum. I think he's certified in like 15 different curriculums or whatever.
He's so smooth, and when Redal and I went through the course to be trained, it was 2-3 years ago, 4 years ago, whatever it was now. Steve would stay with us after the class and work on anything that we needed to fine tune, and would just give us a lot of good feedback, and it really helped us a lot because it's really stressful. Okay, Jordy, is he listening? It's gonna be stressful, but you'll get through it. It's just one of those things. But I have confidence with the shadowing and the training he's got from you guys. He should be no problem.
Yeah, he's been shadowing for close to almost a year.
Yeah, now. That's super important.
And he called me a softie. Oh, Shorty.
Yeah, then Polero said,
thousands of miles underneath us.
It was ARC 1. Polero said.
It was ARC 1. Okay, my bad, Mike. So
Advanced Rider Clinic by Total Control.
Yep, you got
get them plugs in there.
If you ride, you need to take these courses. I'm telling you, it's absolutely phenomenal. And
I know I got corrected hard about that.
Here's the best thing you can do is if you can find out where they're having one, just go and watch it.
Yeah.
Just go and watch it. I'm telling you, it's like going to watch a gymkhana. You're like, oh wow, I got to take this. It's something so intriguing. You're like, wow.
See, I'm not. I get a lot of that. Oh, can I go watch? No, just go do it.
Well, I know, but
because you're not
you can tell
visually watching. It's cool, but actually getting the skill set.
Well, see freight train.
I'm just telling you, I have to, man. How to bust you on that one?
What I'm saying is,
he was going to get to
talk you into going just verbally. At least go and watch it.
Yeah.
At least just go and watch it. Just go see it. It's like watching a band. Me and American Mike went and seen a punk band this week, and I don't watch punk bands. I've never seen a punk band live ever. I'm 50 fucking years old. What? We went and seen one, and I'm like,
wow.
Oh, I got bit by the punk bug.
He's old,
nice.
So, not as old as us, but
get there.
Allison,
if he's lucky,
Allison Woods,
if we let him.
She's chiming in.
Hey, Allie.
Hey, Allie. Hey, Allie.
Hey, hello.
Allie's chiming in.
She posted.
I love Allie. Is so fucking awesome. She was my training instructor in 2000. And I'm sure she's probably like, God, Zig, you keep saying that, but you know what? I just love her to pieces. I mean, she's like, as an instructor, she's a part of my, my whole being
awesome
as
person
an instructor.
To work with. I worked with her for the last 2 days, and just a fun experience. Sharing back and forth and ideas going back and forth and ways we can improve on things. She's just so in tune with it. Her and Dave both. So
they're very smooth.
Yeah, anytime I have a chance to watch them work or go out with them and watch other instructors work, you were talking about going and watching things. Sometimes you pick up even more from the outside watching, and you can actually see, well, I would do that differently.
Yeah.
I would do that differently, and I would, perhaps change this or that. The experience is almost an instruction in itself, watching someone else teach.
Right.
It's really an eye opener. Because
Right.
from the outside, you can sit there and watch me teach. I can watch you teach, and you'd come up and say, hey, I'd maybe do this differently, or vice versa. It's just that being able to stand back and not be part of the action gives you just a little bit more time to think about things and formulate different game plans.
Right. And which is one of the reasons why I like to, I teach at 5 different sites. And what I do is I work with really good instructors at all the sites. And I pick up stuff. Like Vince, for instance, we were doing the sharp turn.
Oh, yeah.
And Vince, we already did, the exercise was over. And then students were taking a break. And Vince says, hey, Zig, check this out, dude. If you stand right here, if you can't get them, because I had a couple females that were just couldn't turn their head. And so I was standing pretty much right where my position was on the card. But he goes, hey, if you just move right here, just for a couple turns. And then, because we can move. We can reposition ourselves. If is
Coach as needed.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And he goes, stand right here. And then do it. I know, actually, it was still going on. I'm sorry. The exercise was still going on. We no, it wasn't. No. I'm all jacked up. So,
hang
on. So Vince comes over and he says, hey, you know what? Stand right here and tell her to look at me. And so I moved and I said, look at me, and instantly, boom, I'm like, oh, I like you.
Yeah.
I like you.
It's the important thing of just knowing their name, because sometimes when you say look, they don't look. But if you say Mary, George, whatever their name is, they snap their head around, look right at you. Suddenly the handlebars come around, the bike comes around. Hey, there you go.
Well, that's also one of the key things is you should talk to you. Don't say, hey, call them by their name.
Yeah.
So I learned everybody's names. Now, if I don't teach classroom, then I'm already walking up and say, hey, what's your name? I'll greet myself. Or greet myself. Hey, Zig, how you doing?
With your strap on.
I will greet the students, and each time I get their name, I try to do a word association. Like if it was, Mike, or said Michael. Okay, Michael Anthony. It's word association. I'm just saying.
Works.
So it would make me remember. It would make me remember because I'm Van Halen, Michael Anthony, Vince. See, I was going to do that. No, I was thinking Motley Crue. Vince Neil. I said Vince Neil, and I would remember the name. You know what I mean? It's word association. But what my point is to call them by their name. You will get more response out of your students if you actually communicate with them by talking to them with their name.
Yeah.
Am I correct?
And then you're not technically yelling because you're, hey, Zig, look over here. Rather than, hey, you, look.
Right.
They think you're yelling, but we're really not yelling. We're trying to coach. We're trying to be loud because they got the bike noise and the helmets on, and we're trying to be loud. And the students are, oh, is that coach yelling? No. We're not yelling, but it does help when you call their name. You're not being so direct as far as like, hey, and then everyone's turning around like, who are you talking to?
True. You separate them, and I try to tell them. I try not to. I try to talk very little, but when I do say, I have to tell them in classroom 1, I say, look, I have to project my voice because when you're on a running motorcycle and you're in motion and you have a helmet on. So I have to project my voice just to get your attention, and then they understand. But if you don't, like Bubba, I love Bubba to death. I think he's great, and he's the biggest, nicest guy on the planet. I'm telling you, the guy's like 6'7", and he's like freaking what? He's got to be 325 pounds.
He's a very big guy.
He's a big boy.
Sweet old Bubba.
Sweet, SOB, sweet old Bubba.
Nice.
And he's just the friendliest guy, man. But his voice projects, dude. I swear, I could be teaching class and I can hear him on the radio.
Oh, yeah.
Was he Italian or something? Usually Italians have broadcasting voices,
No, he's just one of them big Kentucky-fed kind of guys. And if he was standing
and a
on the top of
military guy, too. Yeah.
Nice.
If he was on top of a mountain, you'd hear him all the way down in the flatlands.
My buddy Sterling Rachel from Florida chiming in. What's up, Sterling? Man, great guy. He went from a ZX10 to a Harley. That's like
That's a shift.
Yeah, that's like
Yeah.
a huge
You know what? Speaking of Harleys, I went out and rode my dream bike because I just always loved the Ultra Limiteds, right? So again, for our connection with the school through Glendale Harley, I got the hookup to go for the whole day, grab a brand new Ultra Limited Harley and go ride it all day. Man, oh, it was awesome. It was one of those bikes you go ride and you're like, I hope this is going to be as good as I'm thinking it, because if it isn't, I'll be totally dejected. But it was like, so I went and got the bike in the morning, and I was like, how's this thing riding the canyon? So I literally left Glendale, and I went up to Newcomb's, went up ACH with this thing. And it's probably 1,000-pound bike. I mean, it's a full dress, every wazoo thing on this bike. It is friggin' awesome. And it had some updates to it, so I had the cam work done to it. It had the exhaust and all stock stuff you can order through Harley. But the bike was a little bit hyped up, or hopped up. That's the word I'm looking for.
See, I'm not the only fucking dummy here.
Yeah, I know. So I was really impressed, and I was kind of like a stupid grin on my face under my helmet all the way up the mountain, going, if you just ride the bikes how we teach it, it really works well. I mean, I don't understand these guys dragging all the main parts of the bike around corners. I was off the bike like we're doing the whole advanced rider clinic stuff. And I'm like, dude, I am railing corners on a 1,000-pound bike going, this thing, it handles great. Probably the only thing I would add to it whenever I buy it, and that'll be hopefully not too soon or not too far down the road, but probably a steering dampener just to stabilize the front end a little more. But other than that, I was really impressed. The power, the brakes, the handling, went up the ACH, back down, went to the house, grabbed the wife, threw her on the back. Then we rode up to Ojai and then down into Ventura and then back.
That's a long day ride.
It was awesome.
What bike is this?
The Harley Ultra Limited.
Ah, nice.
That's the big one.
It's funny that you mentioned that, because I had 3 guys that own Harleys in the BRC this past weekend. And I was talking about them when we were talking about body position, because we start with that in Confident Corning, slide 6. And the guys are like, oh, well, I go to Harley. Why would I want to do that? I just look, it's not a sport bike technique. People think it's a sport bike. It's a motorcycle technique. I don't care if you're riding a Harley, if you're riding a Adventure Tour, if you're riding a GSX-R 1000, because the guy George was in my class. He's like, oh yeah, that looks like really like a lot of fun. It is, George, you bet. But the other guys don't get it. But once that guy did it on that BMW, I'm like going, look, and they're like, oh. Guess what they did? They tried it. Guess how good they look. Tell me they didn't look good, Vince.
They look good.
Yes.
They did.
Yeah.
You know who's really smooth to watch on a full dress Harley on a track? Larry Missman. That guy can rail. I got behind him and wow, what a ride.
Not only my buddy Larry Missman, I love him, he's my brother from another mother, is Dave.
Dave Rusk.
Dave Rusk.
Yes.
Dude, that guy, I swear to God, I've never seen anybody ride a Harley like that guy did. Horse thief mom, man. This guy's got his music cranking, and he's just smooth as silk. And I'm on a sport bike. I'm like going, God damn it, get the fuck out of my way, man. It just, as soon as you get the pass, the bike's so wide, he has this great line, and the line you want, and like, damn it. But I can hear the music jamming. I'm like, oh, you know what? I'm just going to stay behind you. I'm going to rock you out and just have some fun, Yeah. Shit, I hit it. Oh, here it is.
Yeah,
I hit a brick wall, but I now remember what I was supposed to do.
Yeah, Larry and I were actually racing each other at the track. That was fun.
Oh, were you guys really on the freight train?
Yeah.
Well, see, you're another motherfucker that sits there with the big ass bike and won't get on my way. Got the great line. Got the same line I want.
Yeah.
And you didn't take your bags off, did you?
Nope.
I cheated.
Yeah. I've been one to I want to practice on my bike the way I'm going to ride it on the street, so I know how it's going to react when I need it to do something. So if you start taking everything off and get it to lighten up, and then you put all the weight back on it, it's going to feel different. And it does. I mean, it makes a big difference when you add a couple 100 pounds of bags and gear and stuff in it.
Right. My buddy Cody Barrett chimed in and says, I have the hookup to ride a black and yellow CBR 1000. The owner doesn't know it yet. Hey, Cody. Good luck with that, bitch.
Good.
But actually, you Freight Train, you showed up on the
BMW K1600 bagger.
oh my
Nice.
Brand new,
God,
2018.
dude. Straight inline 6. He shows up. Hey, what's up? What are you doing? Oh yeah, I'm just out riding the brand new BMW. I'm like, really? Went on to take a look at it. He's like, you want to take it for a ride? Please.
The only thing I forgot to tell you to set the suspension to firm. It was on cruise soft.
Yeah, it was a little soft.
And
That's why
you can
when I
do
got
it on the
back,
fly, but next time.
That's okay because there's a few corners. There's an elbow right down the street from my shop, and I took down. I was like, oh my god, this thing just flicks in really nice. You would think it'd be like really, it would tip in a little too aggressively. Very smooth. But yeah, I did say when I got back, the suspension's a little soft. It wants to sag a little bit, but I like it.
A couple clicks of the button, and all of a sudden, whoop.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah, that was a great bike. Smooth as silk. The shifting. One thing about BMWs, they shift so freaking smooth.
Yeah, that and the balance. The balance of the motorcycles are just insane. I mean, my other bike that I'll get someday in the garage is the S1000RR. That another one. I can really go grab bikes anytime at the dealer and go, and they almost want me to go ride them and break them in. So I took a brand new double R that had 0 miles on it basically, and they wanted me to go scrub it in. So they're going, go ride it all day and come back with it. So I took it to GMR during the week. So there's like no one out there. Oh man, that bike is just a dream. Just absolutely linear. You just look and it goes.
Right.
But oh man, not for a rookie. Let me tell you, you put that thing in race mode. Wow. That thing, it takes me back to my 2-stroke 500cc dirt bike days. That much go. Nice. I mean, it just absolutely rip your arms out of the socket if you're not.
See, there's 3 bikes that I want to ride, and actually one is not a bike. Is the Can-Am Spider, and the sport one, the orange one we have at SoCal.
Oh, the F3.
Yeah, I want to rent one of those. I want to go for a weekend. I want that 6-cylinder, the K16, and I want the KTM 1190. I just want to go a weekend of just like going off and just doing something, Because then if I do that, then we can trade off and I can ride your Vic and
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Nice.
America Mike's easy. He's just like, yeah, okay, sure, what the hell? Hi Colette. Hi sweetie. My buddy Cody, his daughter. She's such a sweetheart. When he first brought her to my shop, she was like very, very shy. But it's amazing that when you open up the refrigerator and you go, look, there's a bunch of candy right there. Help yourself.
Now all of a sudden you got a best friend.
You got a best friend. Just like if a JJ goes to my house.
I like candy.
Tig wants to bite him, but as soon as he comes over with food, gives him a little bite. Tig's his best buddy. Wants to sit in his lap.
I've never fed him. I sit on the same chair you do, and then he tries to jump up to get pet. Yeah.
Well, who was it that? Oh, Jordy.
Yeah, how'd I guess?
He wants to bite Jordy. He does, man. He wants to nip at his heels. But actually, Jordy's looking for a new bike too. So he's actually said, Jordy's on FZ1, and that's the one he's using for the IT. So,
Good choice.
Yeah.
Good bike.
Yeah, I think it's a great bike. But yeah, Jordy, you got to take your bags off, dude. He says he has the most bagged up FZ1 ever. Take those bags off. Yeah, he says no problem with the bags. No, you're gonna have a problem with the bags. You take those things off.
Yes, for his IT. Yeah, take them off. Make the bike light. Make it easier on yourself,
Right.
Jordy. Don't add extra handicaps, man. You don't need them.
Normally, when they run the class, if there's not a MTC running at the same time, they'll be riding a student bike for all their testing. But there's a class running, so yeah, he's going to have to run his own bike on all the testing.
Yes. Yeah. Even though I brought a lot of bikes back, no, Jordy, you can't ride a Rebel. You riding a Rebel is like an elephant riding a tricycle. I just want to say, I love you, brother, but
I can picture that.
Well, Vince, for instance, one we want to talk about something about motorcycles. We're not taking a break, so we're going to go. We're rolling right through. Dutchie says, you know what? I got you all set up, and there's no commercial, and just keep on rocking.
Cool.
I like that.
Rolling.
So, but It usually is break time, and my bladder says, "Hey Zig, it's break time." So we're not taking a break, so I'm going to hand the phone over. But you were talking about because I'm giving the forum, more to my other co-host. So Vince, you brought something up when you texted me earlier about something you want to bring to the bike clinic.
Yeah, proper setup of motorcycles. When we have the students in our MTC courses, I think it is Unit 3, probably around slide 27. We talk to them about what bike you're going to pick and how to set it up and how you have a certain amount of adjustability on the machine before you take it out of the road. Most of them, we suggest that you take it to your dealer and see if they can custom fit it to handlebar placement, etc. When I get students to our slow ride class, the first thing we do is inspect the bikes for fit. Not only proper, equipment like good tires and brakes being in good condition, but the fit, how the handlebars actually fit the student, how the levers are actually adjusted. It makes a huge difference. So many people like that low, lean look on their motorcycle, so they drop the handlebars down so low that
or ape hangers.
Or ape hangers.
Oops, I have the camera.
But the but the problem we see is they limit their amount of maneuverability when they don't change these handlebar settings or lever settings to something that is very usable. So what I encourage people to do before you start riding your bike out on the street, if you want to make sure you can use all of its accessible turning radius, is to sit on the motorcycle, get it nice and safely propped up on a side stand or center stand, put your right foot up on your foot peg or footboard with your foot on the brake, and roll the handlebar as far as you can, full lock, to the right. If the handlebar is hitting you in the leg, it's too low. That can actually cut off at least 4 feet or more of your turning radius. Every inch translates to about a foot or so. So you're going to have to lift them up to where they at least clear. You keep on doing that. Where is it?
Because you keep turning your head away and getting away, and then we can't hear you.
All right. So you want to
there you go.
at least make sure that the handlebar clears your leg. And then you have to adjust the levers. So many people are riding with their wrists way up in the air instead of rotating the levers back. All that is adjustable on a bike. And it could make the application of clutch and brake so much easier for them. So that's one of the things I wanted to bring to this discussion, was that people need to really consult with their dealers when they purchase a new bike. If they buy a used bike, go to somebody like Zig, go down to his shop. Go to somebody that actually knows how to set up a bike. If you got a buddy like Mike Alpine, I know you know how to do it, and there's a lot of good riders out there that have been through courses where they said, hey, it was a big eye-opener. I couldn't turn my handlebars as far as I needed to, that kind of stuff. So make sure you get your bike prepped, because the last thing you want to find out is I got to do a U-turn and not hit this obstacle or whatever it is, and now you don't have the ability to maneuver your motorcycle in that confined area, and you have an accident. Not a good thing.
Yeah, you want to set the bike up to make it more enjoyable to ride. And,
Certainly.
And it's amazing when you make all these changes, how much easier it is to ride the bike. Just like setting suspension when you go on a track versus the street. You start setting up suspension in your bike to make it easier to ride. It's more comfortable. It's going to give you more confidence. Mm-hmm. And you'll be like, have more fun. I mean, at the end of the day, that's really what it comes down to when we're riding motorcycles, is the fun factor. I mean, it's all, that's the main thing. If we're not having fun riding, it's not cool. But you got to have that fun factor. So having the bike set up correctly is key.
One of the best talks I've ever heard about motorcycle ergonomics was from Adam Herzing. I sat through his ARC class. And when he started talking about, how the manufacturers more or less put things on a motorcycle to make it sell in the showroom. Okay, so it's going to be more cost-friendly to you if they don't put on the touring seat. It's going to be better for you if they put on just this one setting on a handlebar, that kind of stuff. It really came to play. I bought a new Concours, and riding that more than 80 miles at a stint was just about the most painful experience my bottom's ever been through. And I've ridden 1,000-mile days, and I've never had anything like this. And it says it's a touring machine. It wasn't a touring machine. Go back to the factory. They have the touring saddle for it. $500. Put it on. Oh my God, 200 miles at a stint. Not a problem. Handlebars are too low. So now I got my Murphs. They just came in the mail today. little bar riser, bring them up to where everything is fitted for me to make me comfortable, because I'm 6 foot tall, and a majority of riders run in between 5 foot something on and 6 foot. So if you're a shorter rider, those handlebars are perfect placement for you.
Works for me.
Yeah, but if you're taller, now you're leaning over. We had in the IRC, young man, good rider, brand new Triumph, and he was very tall, long waisted, and the poor guy, trying to tell him to bend your elbows and get a little more flexibility, couldn't do it. And I said, let me tell you, you need to go out and buy some risers for that. And he says, thank God you said something, because all my friends say don't do it. And I go, no, you need to do it. It'll make the machine workable. He was just struggling so hard because all his weight was on his wrist. Just crazy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so
that'll tire you out too. If you're out riding at a distance and the bike's not set up, it'll actually wear you out, and you'll be tired.
Yes.
Before you know it, and you're like, oh, my wrists hurt, my shoulders hurt, my back hurts. When I had my concourse, that was one of the main things. I put the 2-inch bar risers, and it brought the bars exactly where I wanted it, because prior to that, it was leaning forward, and it was hurting my back.
you
That
get the
little bit of
pain
lean,
through the,
yes.
Yeah, right
So,
through the neck. It's
2-inch bar risers, boom. Change the seat, boom. I was set then.
Actually, Allison Woods chimed in. She says, I know someone who might be willing to, for some trade value, to ride his KTM 1190. How's the barter system? So that's how that works.
You fixie the bike, you ridey the bike.
Why does it sound like I'm in a an empty hallway? Does it sound like it to you guys?
It sounds like your level is down a little lower than ours.
You're usually louder. Like when I watch your show, it's like you're blasting
I
loud
don't think
versus us.
it's the.
Now you're coming up.
That's better.
Is that it?
Yep.
Yeah.
You were just turned down too low.
Yeah, you just.
But it's
boosted
still-
down a
I don't know,
it's a lot better.
That's fine. Turn them down. We're supposed to be our show, right?
In my ears,
Slide it down,
I swear to
America
God,
Mike. There you go. There you go.
to me, it sounds like I'm in an empty hallway or something. I don't know.
I know. I think you sound pretty clean. I listen to you a lot on
Yeah.
your other shows during the week. So,
So then now I got a question then. So is there anybody that actually fits you to a bike?
For the most part, if you have a good dealer, they'll
Good
be able
Taylor?
to.
Because I know when I bought my
Good tailor.
bicycle, I bought my bicycle at the shop, and they actually had me sit on it and hold everything, and they changed the seat and the handlebars, and I never even thought about that for my bike, for my motorcycle.
Oh, well, shit. Yeah, see, we're talking a difference of several $1,000s. When all that fucking salesman wants to do is like, sign the dotted line.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you everything you want to hear right now. And you sign that dotted line, So I think the best thing to do is if, like, say, for instance, Mike, you were new into getting the motorcycles, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's been 5 years now, 6 years?
4.
4 years? Okay. Bring somebody with you that has been riding for a long time. So
there
bring
you
a
go.
buddy and say, okay, well, now check this out. So get on the bike, and then someone who knows, you know what I mean? Like, say if you...
Like my mechanic.
Right. Go figure. But bring somebody with that's been riding and say, okay, we'll sit on the bike, and now, okay, how's this feel? How does that feel? And if there's any kind of doubt, well, let's get this corrected. Let's adjust it. If there's Harleys don't come with adjustable levers and things like that, but is there aftermarket levers that they can actually put in with the deal?
Oh, aftermarket stuff for a Harley? Never heard of it.
Oh, no. Hey, no, see, here's the thing, and I tell my students this when we talk about setting up your motorcycle. This is classroom 1. And I tell them, when you set your motorcycle, if you're going to buy a brand new bike, right now is the time to start talking.
Mm-hmm.
Sit on that bike. Well, you know what? Well, this lever's a little far away. What can we do about that?
lots of things.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Well, if they say, after you get the bike, then you can start, getting our aftermarket stuff. Okay, we'll see you later. Bye.
Yeah, well, when I used to race motocross, I used to be called accessory man because I modified just about everything on my bike, and it was always something new coming out. Oh, I want to get those ASV levers; those are cool. Oh, they have the notch in the fingers. Oh, really cool. Like it never ends. I mean, if you got money, you can buy. It never ends buying different add-on parts and make the bike more comfortable.
Well, my thing is it's simple as a lever. We're talking about just the, 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 If we're not talking about exhaust. I mean, you can try to chime that into the sale, but first things first, comfort.
Usually people think exhaust first.
Reach everything, and does this bike suit me? Do I need lower suspension? Can you lower it? Can you bring the levers in? Do I need different levers?
So
do that before the sale. And like, all I know, dude, if there's a bike and it says and the price tag is $20,000, dude, they're making a chunk of change. I'm not going to throw any dealers under the bus, but they can throw levers in. I can guarantee it. I worked at 2 dealers when I started in this industry. I've been in this industry for 35 years in the motorcycle industry. And I can tell you, there's plenty of room.
Plenty of padding.
Of course there is.
Don't just let them sit there. It's like, oh well, it's on sale, so I'm only making $500.
But the salesman, maybe that's all
they'll
he's
throw
making.
in the helmet.
no.
We'll give you a helmet. We'll give you a jacket. No, I'd rather have the levers. I'll buy my own helmet. My own jacket.
I don't want you to throw something in. I'll go shopping for a helmet. I'll go shopping for a jacket.
Certainly.
Right? Am I correct?
I think the big deal is a lot of people, when they're going for the first bike, they have no idea that the stuff can be swapped out.
Well,
for
and that's
other
where
stuff.
I was going to go, because I don't know what should be adjusted.
Yeah.
I still don't.
True. Like I
So
just now
find,
adjusted
like
my
Zig
suspension
said,
for the
find a
first
friend
time.
that knows what they're doing, have been riding for a long time, have adjusted their own bikes, take them with you for the sale. Now they're looking at this bike where they may have passed it up. Oh, that doesn't feel right, or it's too tall, or this is not right. And your buddy's saying, well, wait a minute, we can bring the handlebars down, we can rotate the levers down so your wrists aren't up in the air. And all
Adjust the rear brake
Yeah,
pedal.
the whole shot.
Right. Adjust the shifter.
Suddenly they got that dream bike that they thought wouldn't fit that now fits just
Right.
by changing things around a little bit. I don't know how many times I've had smaller gals come through the MTC courses, even the slow ride courses. They come up on, Harleys and whatnot. Oh, I'm always having a problem handling this bike or this or that. And I look at it and I go, well, do you mind if I adjust a few things? No, not at all. Boom, bring the levers up, bring the bars to a better position for them. And all of a sudden, wow, I didn't know this thing could do that. I didn't know it felt that comfortable. They just weren't aware that things could be adjusted. They thought pretty much you buy a bike, that's the way it is. This is where I wish they would go back to the car brain. You buy a car, the seat can go back and forth. The
Right.
steering wheel can go up and down. The mirror could be adjusted. Everything could be done to make it fit you.
Yeah.
We could still do that on bikes. It just takes a wrench rather than a lever. You got to actually twist something to get it to work.
Right.
It's funny. That's how I got my motorcycle, because I bought it used from a taller rider, and the 600 was just too small for him, so he wanted to get 1,000, just because he was taller. But I wasn't going to say anything about that.
Yeah, all you had to do is maybe some risers on the handlebars, lift the bars up, and hey, I've still got my bike, and I didn't have to spend a whole lot more money.
Yeah, we go through that on a range with students. They're like, well, we're kind of like, well, sorry, the bike's kind of set up the way it is. It's a range bike, but when you get your own bike, by all means, change it, adjust things to your fit.
Yeah, because the only real thing we can adjust, which is usually the only, I try to get the range bikes that I work on for SCMT and Ride Right. I try to get the bikes to where they're actually in a very neutral position for like someone who's maybe like the shifter, who's got a big foot to a smaller foot. Because you get a smaller foot, they can't get it up. They shift in second gear.
Or they show up with
the
the work boots with the steel toe.
Right. So I try to get it, but you can adjust the clutch lever because, like, you get some people that just have short fingers. Like my girl, if Otto were to take the rider course, no, you're not.
What the hell, man?
Everybody knows, and I tell, I always say it. I love my girl to absolute pieces, but she can't really drive all that well. Okay.
Well, she's Asian.
She's Asian, and
There are stereotypes for a reason.
I know.
It wouldn't be a stereotype if it wasn't right 51% of the time.
I throw myself under the bus all the time, but check this out. I'm gonna
some tonight.
I'm gonna throw my girl. I'm gonna throw my girl under the bus right now. This might cost me
I
like
thought you were throwing yourself under the bus.
At least a week.
I'm throwing myself under the bus right now. I might not get none for like
is knowing your vocabulary. Just don't do it.
Right. So my girl and
we don't have anybody back there to hit mute.
I'm one of the guys. I can't be a passenger. I can't be a passenger. I'll never be a passenger on the motorcycle. I was a passenger
Even
once,
if a girl
and
is
that was the
riding?
last freaking time ever I was a passenger on a bike. But
Tell us about it.
fuck off. And
He's like, don't say it.
I was I caught a nail on my bike. I smoked rims, so it was like it was a done deal. It wasn't like I could plug it.
Nope.
You know, and so I was stuck. So I told my buddy, well, let's go. You know, we're gonna fix it on the road. Just take me to the house to get my tools. Yeah, I would never ride in the back of that fucker's bike ever again. But Otsko, and I keep telling her, you know,
Well, wait a minute. Wait.
Yeah.
So you've worked at Cerritos and you got to ride backpack because we're shuttling bikes all day. So
Shut up, Mike. Shut up, Mike.
foul on you.
Well, see, at least that's only on a range, and I'm still not comfortable then either.
Oh, okay.
Even though it's only like how far is it? That's a long ways. It's about maybe. It's like an eighth of a mile.
Yeah, it's a while, especially at range 3 down the end. Yeah.
Okay,
Right.
just sit backwards and it's not as bad.
Right. But check
good
this
one. I'll
out.
try that. That's
So
really
now
cool.
Otsko, every time she drives, now I can't complain because she's my DD. You know, my son's supposed to be here later to be my DD. That's why I'm drinking. So you know, my son's going to be here later. They had something to do.
I don't know if a girl's on front on a bike. I think that would be pretty fun.
How do you
hang on.
ride?
No, but check this out.
Has she gone to the clinic?
Hang on. Slow down, Turbo.
I vote for she goes to the clinic.
No. So when she's
give her a
driving,
rebel.
Second that.
when she's driving, she has a serious problem of not coming to a complete stop at stop signs, and it drives me ape shit.
I triggered that
Shit.
when I
I
did the
swear
California
to God,
roll.
dude. You know, I come to a complete stop, literally.
Anal.
Anal OCD, I don't care because you know what? I've never gotten a slightly tap on pedal ticket ever.
Me neither.
Okay, I've gotten speeding tickets. It's a whole different story. But now the thing is
Even if nobody else is there, you won't stop?
no.
Nobody there.
I will stop. I will come to a complete stop.
That's the fucking worst.
I do. I swear to God, I hate
We
it,
need to
dude.
take a poll. I want to know who else is going to like come to a complete stop, or who's like, hey, I'm a California stop.
Oh, no.
So,
No.
so, so anyways, so one of my things is anytime she drives, she'll just sit there and she'll like kind of slow down and then roll right through the stop sign, and it drives me ape shit. And honey, you got to come to a stop. Oh, it's okay. I don't get ticket and blah blah blah. You know, and then I'll keep talking. And then she starts cussing me out in Japanese, trying to tell her how to drive. You know, and I don't know if you ever been cussed out in Japanese before.
I can't say I have.
Okay, you ever been cussed out in Mexican?
Yes, I have.
Okay, it's worse than that.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, trust me.
They have special words just for us.
Yeah, when there's a ping and a pong and a ping there, it's bad.
Oh, that sounds Vietnamese.
So guess what? She takes.
Yeah, I don't even know if he knows that.
She rolls through a fucking stop, and the cop is sitting right there. She does the same fucking thing right in front of the cop, gets a ticket, and then
I know.
That's the
she's
thing.
pissed.
Is like if you make that habit.
Well, and now
Yeah.
she's pissed. You know, and she tells me she texts me on Friday. She's like going, "Oh, I got a ticket," and I didn't say nothing of it. So she's kind of pissed off that I didn't respond. Like, you know, like, "Oh, what'd you get a ticket for?" You know. So she's up at my house on
Zig's
Saturday.
like, I already know.
She's at my house on Saturday. She's like going, "Well, you didn't respond about where I got my ticket." Well, okay, what'd you get a ticket for? She goes,
Rolling
"I didn't come to
through
the stop
stop
sign."
sign.
Yeah, I'm like going, and you know what I did? I went.
She should have just never told you.
I was like laughing, and she got pissed. Right? She got so freaking pissed, and I'm like going, "Honey, I told you.
Salt
I
in
told
the
you.
wound.
You need to come
Salt in the
to a
wound.
complete stop." She goes, "Oh,
You
you
don't like to get
and
in
guess
there,
what
do
she
you?
said? She goes, "Oh, you jinxed me."
Yeah, that's true. You did because
Well-
you told her, and then it happened. So you jinxed her.
You know.
That's like that's like if a cop would have followed me off that off ramp.
If you
know.
see a cop come to a complete stop,
It's kind of like when we talk about
The problem is you don't see them.
It's like I was telling,
they're right
I
there.
told you the other day. You guys don't realize that motor officers are pretty much related to Dracula. You can never see him in your rearview mirror. That's all there is to it.
No, that's what you told me. We were talking about yesterday. We were talking about vampires, and he goes, "Yeah, vampires are real." I'm like, "Going, are they really?" He goes, "Yeah." You ever see a vampire in a mirror? And I go, "No." He goes, yeah, that's why you don't see the lights until they're right behind you.
There's two motors that work by my work in Compton on Santa Fe Avenue. There's two motors that work like a 5-block section, and they're always there. And they hide under their shade tree, and you can't see them until you're right on top of them. But there was a guy the other day, and I know they're always there, so I'm kind of like just cruising. This guy is driving like a total asshole in a car. You know, cut me off, cut this guy off, and I'm like, I hope they're there. And sure as shit, he's on the left, man. All I see the lights come on and freaking took off after him. I'm like, hell yeah.
I love seeing that. I love seeing that kind of stuff. Especially when there's an ass. Someone did that about a month ago. This guy was just cutting people. It was in traffic. And one of those guys that we've talked about before, where they just keep like changing lanes and they're cutting people off. They're trying, dude.
And they never get any farther than anybody else.
You're not getting anywhere. All you do is pissing everybody off. Next thing you know, it was an unmarked vehicle. It didn't have the CHP sign on the side, but he had the light. You know? And I'm like going, fuck, man, where's a cop when you need him, man? Next thing you know, blip, 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 blip. I'm like, yeah. So I made it a goal. As he pulled him over, I rolled down my windows, man, and then the traffic the guy was still up kind of ahead, and as the officer got out, I had my windows rolled down, and I go, thank you!
Nice.
And he's all like, yeah.
That's cool.
They love that.
Oh, my God. So, Mike, what did you bring to the table?
Oh, man. So, let's see. I've done so many things since our last show, and one of the coolest things I did a couple months back was in Sacramento. I got to go to the headquarters of CHP.
Oh, that's right.
The CMSP
and the CHP had a deal. Yeah.
Yeah, they do a quarterly, basically a State of the Union address for CMSP in the program. And anyone can go, public can go. You just have to email them ahead of time so they can vet you so you can get in because you're going into the headquarters. You're going into the main building. It's really cool. Nice place. Anyway, so that was a really cool experience. I didn't realize it was so in-depth. It was really neat. There's everybody there from AMA to Abate to motorcycle dealer representatives. I mean, it's everybody. Of course, our boss, Lee Parks, was there. Of course, because Total Control is the contractor for the CMSP program. But here's everybody. I mean, it's you got the captain, lieutenant, sergeant. You got everybody involved that's involved in the program is there. It's quite kind of like, wow, this is huge. And they have a huge turnout of riders that come up from the Bay Area. And, of course, I was the only SoCal rider, so I'm like, I got to start bringing more people up with me. They're kind of getting overrun here with everyone from the Bay Area or Central Cal. But they're doing some great programs coming up as far as the CMSP program getting more involved. They're going to start doing more outreach programs. It's starting up Northern Cal, like the fairgrounds up there. They're branching out, getting more involved in the public, and it's going to be coming down here in SoCal end of the year, because what they're doing is they're putting together like satellite groups, and it takes some time to train the officers to actually go out and be public liaison officers that go out and deal with the public, deal with riders, bring more attention to the program, and just work on the safety aspects. And that's really cool. It's really exciting. There's a list a mile long of stuff that they're working on. And what I found out is there's a lot of friction because what CMSP, CHP want to do and trying to get it through our state Congress, Senate, DMV, all the different agencies, it's really, really tough.
You know, and I just want to enhance on that really quick is one of the things that actually Otsko said, I'm so mad, but it is my fault. Honey, you actually admitted you were wrong. I'm so proud of you.
Not that she was wrong, but that she made a mistake.
Is that a tear in your eye?
She got a ticket again. What?
Yeah, she didn't say she was wrong. You've gone too far now.
No, when she says it is my fault, that means I was wrong. Look at this fucking guy, you know?
Now you're screwed.
See, for JJ's he's always trying to get on Otsko's good side.
Am I?
You are. You're such a suck up, dude. I swear to God. We go see bands, dude. He's such a suck up, dude. I swear to God. But back to what
Ain't I the one that makes fun of Asians all the time? How does that work?
It's only because you wish you had one.
Or two or three.
Me too.
Or 2 or 3. Oh my God.
Or 6.
I got one particular one.
That's one of the things that really bugged me is when it came to my sons when they went through the driver's training. They don't have driver's ed in high school anymore.
What?
You didn't know that?
Budget cuts.
You have to go on your own and pay.
Yeah.
Yeah, budget cuts.
Well, we had to pay for it anyway.
Not when I went to high school. No, it was a class. It was an elective.
I'm pretty sure there was like a
it was-
$25 gas fee or some shit when I was in high school.
No, not
But still, that's way cheaper than like.
Yeah,
don't know,
what it
Mike.
is now.
Back in high school, what did we pay when we went?
Yeah.
Well, no,
We would race
no,
those
you guys.
cars.
Well, see, the only thing reason because they had wooden wheels on the cars. So,
Well, no. There's the floorboard. You run your little feet.
There you
and-
go.
oh, that's right, the Flintstones. That's right.
We had some big like Gran Torino cars, and they were the slowest things ever. I don't know.
My
like, maybe
first
plugged
car
the
was
cylinders.
a '66 Ford Fairlane 500.
Oh, nice.
But I mean, in the driver's training, the driver's ed class, that's the cars that we were using.
Yeah, we had.
And
yeah,
they
we
were
had
so
the cop
freaking
cars,
slow.
man.
It was crazy.
We had a
had
Toyota
cop cars.
Tercel as my training car. In high
Did you
school.
really?
Nice.
Yeah.
And I got lucky.
It was. You know what's funny? It was a stick shift. It was a manual transmission. That was the
Yeah,
funniest
that's
thing
what ours
ever.
was too.
Sweet.
I grew up driving manual transmission, so it was no big deal. But some of the students, it was they didn't do too well. It was hilarious. They're herking, jerking, stalling the car.
All
But
I
that was
know
cool.
is a chick
But they need to
was
bring
in-
that back.
Right.
Got
A chick
make
in my
everybody
class that
train
drove
on
up
a
the
manual
curb.
transmission.
Yep.
She popped the clutch and just drove the curb. Almost went into someone's house.
That's because we say pop the clutch. You think like, oh, you press the clutch in, and then you just let it go.
Who in the cell's popped the clutch? Yeah, I don't say pop the clutch.
You just did.
No.
I did not. I'd never said. I said she popped the clutch.
Yeah.
I didn't say that you're
That's
teaching
what I mean.
someone to pop the clutch.
But I mean, like when you're just learning, you don't realize that you got to let out so slowly on the clutch. It's just
right.
Yeah, it's really smooth on a motorcycle.
How many O's in the word smooth?
Oh,
15.
10,000.
See, and that's one of the things. If you start your class out that way, when you say when the word ease comes out, how many e's in the word ease? 1, 15. And they go, When you say smooth, how many O's in the word smooth? And then also they go, 15. Yeah. But back to what you were saying, Mike, is this is one of the things that I can't believe that it's so hard for people to try and push proper training when it comes to motorcycles. Why do we have to push all this stuff through? Now, I realize that there's less motorcycles on the road than there is cars, which actually makes it worse for riders. Mm-hmm. But when my kids took the driver's course, now mind you, it's 7 days. So it's 5 days of classroom and then 2 days of behind the wheel. So you start on Monday and it's 4.5 hours each day. So they go through the course. Third day in, Wednesday, they actually spend a whole total of 15, 20 minutes going, okay, well, guess what? This is a motorcycle. You got to look out for them. Okay, move on.
That's it, huh?
That's it.
Yeah.
Now, and
You know what'll kill you?
we've talked about it before that, when at the training, when we're teaching the classroom, just give me a percentage that you think is that we make the students aware of vehicles. What do you say? Just give me a percentage. Now I'm going to say that the actual driver's course is about 1%. What do you think our training is?
It's somewhere. I'm gonna throw a number like 70%.
I'd even go higher. Just about everything we talk about is the risk of interaction with another vehicle. There is that segment where you inflict your own injuries, but anything other than that, a car's involved. So,
Right,
yeah,
right.
it's huge.
So, but I agree. 70%, I'm good with that. You know what I mean? And that's the difference between people who take the motorcycle safety course and the driver's ed course. And that's one of the things that is going to clear a lot of this stuff up when it comes to statistics, when it comes to injured or fatal crashes with motorcycles. I mean, for reals. I think that because Lee Parks is very involved in that. You know, he's doing that. He's pushing that. Actually, correct me if I'm wrong. Did he not get it to where you can actually go if you're on a motorcycle and you want to take driver's ed?
Yes.
You can actually take the motorcycle safety course.
Okay, so that is just waiting now because I learned that when I was up Sacramento. It is in DMV's lap, and they just take forever to get things done. So it's on DMV's desk. What they need to do is make that connection electronically so that the ranges can transfer the completion form to clear their record. So all they're waiting to do is for DMV to make that connection so that the admin at the ranges can say, yes, Zig passed the rider, well, I forget the name of it now, but the rider correction clear your ticket event, and then it comes off your record.
RCCTE.
But, yeah, so the one thing that was but check this out, this is interesting. So to make it to where it'd be open for everyone, one of the requisites they wanted was it has to be open to everybody. So if you get a ticket in your car and you don't have an M1 or anything, you can actually go to one of our courses and take the course, learn to ride a motorcycle, and clear your record.
What?
Isn't that cool?
That's cool.
Yeah.
I'm all for that.
Yeah.
Really?
They had to make it.
I had no idea.
They had to make it to where it was fair for everybody.
Well, currently, if you get a ticket in your car, right, you can go to the driver's class. If you get a ticket on your motorcycle, you can still get it erased by going to a standard automobile.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
school.
But I didn't know you could go to the motorcycle safety course. But it does make sense, which is actually kind of cool. Like, okay, well, shit, I got a ticket, and I'm going to go to traffic school. But you know what? I've always wanted to ride a motorcycle, so I'll just take the motorcycle safety course and then knock it out. Two birds with one stone.
Yeah, exactly.
How cool
That's
is that?
even better.
That's way cool. Huh?
How cool is that? I like it. Now, one of the things that I want to bring up to the table tonight is, under 21, it is actually mandatory that you take a motorcycle safety course. Mm-hmm. Mandatory. You can't get your M1 unless. Now, my thing is I think if you... There's two things I'm going to bring up here. If you don't have an M1, even if you're over 20, I don't care if you're like 80 years old. If you want to ride a motorcycle, you have to take a safety course.
Yep.
Mandatory.
Oh, I totally agree.
I don't. I mean, Vince. Freight train. We've seen that on the range. We've seen guys that have been. They admitted going, yeah. Well, my buddies, decided to teach me how to ride.
Nope.
And that's why I'm here.
Yeah.
That's why
I
you
think
end
it
up
should.
under a car.
Exactly.
What if it was the same thing about using guns? What if you had to take a safety
stop
course for
bringing
that?
guns in. This is not the America show.
Motorcycles and guns. Come on.
Come on. The only thing I'll add to that is like it is, give a rider that went to DMV to the lollipop and he gets on a leader bike. It is basically a loaded gun pointed at you.
Mm-hmm.
True.
It could very well kill you, and it does, unfortunately. So the numbers.
Okay. So Freight Train's trying to soften up the blow that I just threw at JJ.
But I'm saying I agree too that you should have to take a motorcycle safety course.
I think it's true. Okay, so no matter what, you need to take a safety course, and not only that. My second thing is I think you should have to take every 5 years. I'm saying 5 years. You should, just like us as instructors, it is mandatory for us to take a personal development every year. At least one a year. It is one a year, Vince. Because Vince is sitting here doing two. It's not.
I'm with Vince's
one
too.
a year. It's one a year.
1 and 2 years.
Yeah, that's one a year.
Yeah. Okay, so
that is one a year.
It's still not enough.
Do the math, Vinny.
Still not enough.
Okay.
1 in 2 years is not 1 in a year.
So once a year, we need to take a personal development. Okay.
Don't bother.
That's okay. I've already got 4. It's June, and I've taken
His
4.
first one's going to be on reading
And
a
my
calendar.
5th one is going to be with Slow Ride.
Yeah.
Okay, so
And we have
that's
to be
gonna-
CPR, AED,
yeah,
first aid
CPR,
certified.
yeah, everything.
Well, I got that.
And
So-
we have to do a professional
I
development
fail on
workshop
everything else.
every year.
Right? Yeah, we as instructors we all meet up, and which man, I love. Wait, before I do
What
that.
kind of professional
So now you're
development
going to
workshop?
get me straight off. But what I think is every 5 years, I think as a rider, you should have to take another safety course.
And I'll take it one more step than that. I think if you come in for an MTC, regardless of age, you get your license. I think it should be, or my feeling is it should be tiered. You cannot do certain things like get a larger bike until you go to like an IRC or an ARC in advance to the type of skill
Like
necessary.
they have it in Europe.
Well, I think that's
Yeah.
a great
Unless you
idea,
got a
but
lot
I'd
of money.
rather see licenses for RVs before that.
There are licenses for RVs.
Not most of them don't require it.
Just
Even the
Class
ones that
C.
are buses?
How about we just go back to the basics and just try to get more riders into the MTC to ride, period. What was the number I read somewhere? It was 72% of sport bike riders are unlicensed or without an M1.
Well, yeah,
That's crazy
Which is
number.
what I'm saying, because a lot of them are over the age of 21. So, I mean, you can literally go into a dealership, and that's another thing. You shouldn't be able to buy a motorcycle. You go to a dealership without an M1. Without an M1, and I can actually purchase
And you
a
can ride
motorcycle.
that sucker home.
Yeah, it's
You know,
crazy.
but like, let's go to the JJ. You can't purchase a firearm unless you get a background check. I don't think you should be able to buy a motorcycle unless you take a safety course. Or if you have an M1. Now, even still, if you have an M1, I still think it should be mandatory for anybody to get an M1 license. You must take a safety course. I mean, that's like giving someone, let's go back to the JJ, a CCW. You have to go through a whole course before you, it doesn't matter what age you are, to be able to acquire that license. That's my thing. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's mandatory. And you should do a refresher course every 5 years. Yep. Although I do agree, Vince, I do agree with you that, it should be just like Europe. If you want, you should start out on a fucking 250. If you don't like it, then tough titty said the kitty till the mick runs dry.
Yeah.
Vince like, oh shit, I haven't heard that in a long time.
Damn, Zig, why don't we just start by basics first? So what they're trying to do...
No, hang on. Slow down, Turbo. So you start on 250, then you
turbo.
Then you take a course, and then you graduate to a 500cc. I think, correct me if I'm wrong. I think that United States and Canada are the only ones that do not have that tier. Am I correct?
What about Australia?
I'm not Australia. I think you have to start.
I don't know.
I don't know. If you're listening,
That's your homework
let us know.
assignment for tomorrow.
Let us know. I got the computer up.
There you go.
Let us know. Someone do some homework for us. Chris.
Yeah, I've never thought
Mike.
about that before.
Polaro, shit, do some homework for us. Jordy. Oh, no, Jordy, do your fucking homework, dude.
Well, we're Americans, goddammit. We can buy whatever bike
Jordy,
we want.
come on.
Jordy, you are going to be inundated, dude. Just do your fucking homework, okay?
Polero should get us some numbers in about 2 seconds. He's a computer whiz.
He is.
That guy is a brainiac, man.
So let us know. But I mean, what do you think about that?
I think it's a great
that.
idea. If I had been forced to buy a smaller bike, I'd probably be a better rider today.
Well, now, do you think that would it be every 5 years that you need to take a safety course, or would you want to reduce it maybe every 3 years?
Well, I don't know.
It's 5 years for your license.
You can almost say mileage related too.
Yeah, time doesn't necessarily mean anything. But the other problem is that when you get older, things change too. So are you now going to penalize an older rider because, his skills may have changed or deteriorated over time?
Well, they do that with
do.
automobiles.
They do, but only if you can't see.
Well,
They don't care whether you can drive or not.
You need to force people to take the advanced rider courses or rider courses, period. Because how many times, if I had $1 for every person I said, hey, why don't you go take an advanced rider course or something? Oh, yeah, I've been wanting to do that, but, it's just trying to get them there to do it is like, you got to break their arm or something. It's crazy to me. It's like we don't want to save your life. Well, if you don't want to do it for yourself, how about at least do it for the ones that love you so you can maybe live?
Right. Well, actually, I'll bring that up a point. We took JJ to the track with Track Experience.
That was fun.
And what I love about Track Experience is they have a 4 classroom. So it's 8 hours on the track. But from 8 to 12, it's if you do level 1, you do a classroom. Then you go on the range or on the track and you follow the instructor. And then you go back to the classroom. They do some more stuff, and then you go out and you follow the instructor. And then you go back in and do a 3rd classroom, and then now they kind of let you. They kind of
let you loose.
Yeah, they not let you loose. They kind of like put a little bit more slack in the leash, and then you come back in the classroom, and then the 4th one, and then now they're like, okay, well now go ahead and at this point now go and pick up. But now what they've done is they've picked out the more the struggling ones or maybe the weaker ones, and then what they do is they try and help you stronger, and then they'll pull you aside, and then they'll coach you and what have you, which is great. And then what happens after 12 o'clock? The instructors still go out for the level 1, but now it's open session. So now you can go as fast as you want. But if you're going a little bit fast and they see you don't have good lines, the instructors will actually pull you aside and they'll flag you out. And so Vijay did that. Well, they didn't flag you, Vijay, but they did. There
was one guy that I was following. He was one of the coaches. And he saw that I was like staying right on his tail, so he started going faster, and eventually he lost me. But he was pushing me pretty hard.
Well, see, that's the thing. So he's seen potential.
Yeah.
Which is like, okay, well, now let me up his ante a little bit. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I see that.
And for those that never been on a track, it's a very controlled environment. Everyone's going the same direction, all right? And you get used to the turns. So the one thing that they add to it is they put cones up for braking points and turning points, where to turn in, where to, and they give you like visual references to do certain things.
Even where all the people are sitting on the side.
There, yeah, so you're not just going out there and winging it. There's actually, like I said, a controlled environment, so you're learning. Because I mean, oh man, lately I've been going nuts with Facebook and some of the craziness with some of the people that think that they know what they're doing by riding up and down a canyon for a day. No, you're not gaining any more skill at all. You're just riding up and down. Anyone can do that. Go on a track.
You could be reinforcing the same bad habits.
That's exactly what happens. I mean, go on a track and actually learn how to ride your bike first, and then see how that works out when you go ride the canyon. It'll be a whole different thing.
This is true.
Knowing how to get up off the bike, if you can take that onto the canyon, then that's going to make it so much smoother, so much easier to control the bike.
Yeah, how about like one thing that always gets worked on is where to look. Where you look is where you go. How many videos? In fact, just recently I watched another one. This guy came up on the back of a guy and he just ran off the side of the road.
Yeah, that was just
fixated on the shoulder, trying to get it out of the way of a bike behind him and roll right up on the shoulder and crashed. Total fixation, and he doesn't know what he's doing.
Well, as instructors, it's funny because I keep we brought that up on the air before, and I'm like when I ride. And I see another rider, and I'll get behind them, and I start critiquing them in my head. Yeah. It's so programmed. But Jordy says, "Gotta love the habit development into muscle memory, lifesaver," which is why the exercise repeated. And then Allison, I call her Allie. I'm sorry, Allie. I just because I'm close with her, but it's Allison. She says that is so old school.
Zig got in trouble.
Ease it out. See, I'm old school. I'm old school, Allie. That's right. She says we wrote that on the white chalkboard behind us.
Nice.
Not in what we have now, but that's what we used to.
Yeah.
So to digress back to what we were talking about, the CMSP, now they have access to DMV files and the info. So what they were trying to do and finally able to do is now there's going to be the crash data is going to be compiled through DMV because they've not been able to find out if a rider, and we're talking about riders now and crash data, has the rider gotten any kind of training. So what they want to find out, and they're comparing numbers, so they can try to build a case to go to what we're talking about, is forcing everyone that wants to ride to have to go through the CMSP program, to actually go out and take the rider course. period. That's what they want to get to. It's all about getting the numbers down. I don't have the exact numbers. I can tell you 2017, I remember seeing it on the display at the meeting. So it was just over 7,000 motorcycle crashes last year in California, and there was just over 600 fatalities. All right? So the two big factors are drinking and riding too fast, excessive speed. So fixing those two is going to help a lot. Getting riders to force them to take the rider course is going to help a lot. Let's get those numbers down.
Right.
I mean, that's scary numbers when you think about those crash data numbers. We're talking 7% of the vehicle population are motorcycles in the state. 7%. Those are huge numbers when you put that percentage into it. And that needs to come down. That's ridiculous. I mean, I've known, and I'm sure I can speak for all of us, that we've known people that have died in recent years, months, that riding a motorcycle.
Yes.
One of my buddies is finally getting back to, being mobile again, but he got taken out by a rider coming down the hill, crossed over, and hit him head on. He had nowhere to go and been riding pretty much all his life. And some kid out of control. Another rider.
Yeah.
It took him out.
That's one of the things that I talk about in class because this was years ago when I had a student saying, so basically we have to everybody out there is out to kill us, whatever they said, something really weird like that. This is probably like 15 years ago. And I says, no, actually, you know what? I says they're not out to kill you. They're just uneducated and they're idiots. But the thing is, another rider could be a hazard to you.
Yep.
Because you get little Johnny who got graduated high school, and now mind you, this is a true story. This is my boys that graduated high school. When Dylan graduated high school, he had a couple buddies that were their parents gifted them with the motorcycle. That's what they wanted. Bought them leathers and all the good gear, and spent good money. And here you go, son. I'm so glad you graduated with a 4.0. Yay! Well, he went to the basic safety course, but he thinks now that he went to the basic safety course, now he's Mark Marquez.
Yeah, he's all that and a bag of chips.
Exactly, because he's got all this nice gear. And I tell people, I says, you know what? The thing is that not only is the other cars and vehicles and what have you, the idiots around you are a hazard to you, another rider could be a hazard to you. And I always tell my students, look, spend 30 minutes a day, 30 minutes a week. 30 minutes a week. Just go on YouTube and just pull up anything that had to do with motorcycle crashing and watch the video and then think about what happened and now write down what you think was the cause of that and now go back and watch it again and see if you were right. At least it gets them to think. You know what I mean?
But it's not just the younger riders.
Oh, I'm not saying it's younger. I'm just using it as an example. But actually, Chris Wall said, what? I'm the man in the canyon. I'm going to kill those guys in the track. I have to admit, Chris is fast on the track. He's fast. I'm going to give you props for that. But no, you're open.
No, I was going to say there was a whole shitstorm of controversy on Facebook a couple weeks ago. I won't say names, but there was a guy that videotaped himself with his own GoPro, took a face shot of himself, got on his bike, rode down GMR, was on the wrong side of the road, purposely riding on the wrong side of the road, scraping hard parts of the bike around corners, and thought it was cool. And oh man, it was like last time I looked, it was 124 comments. And it was like pretty much majority were like, are you kidding me right now? Are you trying to kill yourself or other people? So, he thought he was doing great. He's like, yeah, I'm the hot shot rider. I know what I'm doing. I'm like, yeah, you're looking for the next GoFundMe page guy. Cause,
right.
I'm like, are you kidding me? You're purposely riding on the wrong side of the road? That is just insane.
That's dumb.
Well, what about that guy that was in Santa Barbara? This one went viral. It was last year.
The guy that was
around
like
October
on the big cruiser that was like sliding through the corners and stuff?
No, this guy was on like an FZ6, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, that went right off the road.
Yeah.
Oh, my steering
Was
locked up.
recording it.
that guy.
Yeah, I'm doing 60 into a 25 left turn. Because you could see the speedometer and everything on the GoPro. I'm like, and then, it made news. That was the guy who was laid up in the news. And it's like, yeah, my steering locked up.
My steering locked up.
Yeah.
No, it didn't.
And exactly how
steering
did that
just doesn't
happen?
lock up. Steering your steering is on bearings.
He was on FC10. He was on a leader bike.
Oh,
His arms might have locked up.
Jesus.
His brain,
Like that
brain
idiot
locked
that was
up.
going up the backside of the crest and hit a fire truck head on.
What?
Yeah, you didn't see that one?
No, I did not.
It's out
Same
there.
guy?
No, that was the the
that's
section
bad luck.
going to Mount Baldy.
Yeah.
There's no striping in the middle. The back section going to Mount Baldy, there's no lane striping. And he was following his buddies. He just, immediately, if you read the comments, he had just got a license, just started riding. And you could see him going a little faster, a little faster, a little faster. And, he got around a corner, and here comes a fire truck.
He target
He would have
fixates.
been
Target fixated.
totally fine. A little more forward push on the right bar, no problem.
Hey, would have gone
Saw
by.
the fire truck, went head on into it. Oh, it was bad.
Vince, you didn't see this.
I didn't see what.
This is the first time since I've been teaching. I've been teaching 17 years. And I had a student yesterday that during the eval, we're doing the cornering, right? And so I said, okay, read the instructions, blah, blah, blah. So I'm standing, right there because if you're riding, you are standing to the exit of the curb, but to the inside, right? And
Right.
you have to stop at the cone. Adrian is standing in the middle of the curve, so you can time 1 and 2. And so when you read the instructions, okay, when you finish the curve, boom. Well, this guy, because we've been, all the entire weekend, I'm like going, look at me, look at me, look at me. This guy, during the eval, guess what it does? As soon as he enters the curve, he looks at me and keeps coming to me, Almost runs me over, man. I literally had to jump out of the way. I'm like, whoa. This guy, he's like, he straightens up. Fortunately, he didn't brake while he was, leaning over.
But he missed the curve totally, right?
But no, he actually went through the curve.
Really?
But he went through the curve, but he kept looking at me. Because and I'm
Like even turning his head
he
back?
kept coming, and I'm like, oh shit! And I had to run towards Adrian. And so he comes to, he straightens his back, comes to a stop, and he's like, Zig, I'm so sorry. I'm like going, dude. It's okay. It's no big deal because there's no points for almost running over your instructor.
What was it, like $1.60 through the curve? I mean, 1.6. He probably got through there quick.
No, and then at the end of the day, he passed. He did good. There's no points for that. But I told him he comes up to me. He says, Zig, I'm so sorry. I really am so sorry that I almost ran you over. And I go, dude, you know what?
You're like, that won't be the first time, and it won't be the last.
He's like, dude, I'm like, dude, it's okay. He's like going, well, you know what? The whole day you're telling me to look at you.
So it's your fault.
That's a good one.
It's like
So I just looked at you and I said, well, okay. That's when I was trying to get you. That's when I'm trying to get you to look in my direction because I'm at the exit here. Now it's the eval. I just want you to, to do the curve.
Nice.
But you know what? He basically was honest. Mm-hmm. And he, I swear to God, man, he was like, what can I do? Can I make this up to you? I'm like, you're okay, dude. You're okay, Mike.
You see me riding on the street, just go to the other side.
Right? Don't look at me. Oh, my God. I just thought that was funny because, in 17 years, that's never happened.
That's good head turn, though.
It was a good head turn.
That's good.
It was. Because plus his time in the curve was 1.72.
There you go. It's a good turn.
Yeah.
Right?
Not bad.
And it's still coming your instructor. Hey, what the hell? Well, you got to admit, because our instructor position, if you're riding, if you're the one grading, is at the exit of the turn. Mm-hmm. So you're right there. So he's looking at me.
That's cool.
I'll just remember that next time I'm teaching.
We've got a few minutes. So since I just shared one, a good moment of being an instructor, give me a good moment of yours.
Oh gosh. Well, the last time you and I taught together, the word got out. Usually, I don't tell students what I did for a living all those years, because they kind of get intimidated. Oh, it's a cop teaching the class and all this stuff. It's okay during slow
Hey, you
ride.
didn't say there was a cop in the show tonight.
It's okay. His blood alcohol
Yeah, can
kid
you
is in
imagine
the other
he's
truck.
Yeah, there you go.
He's a cop and he's a human. Can you imagine that? They all think they're all not human. I mean,
During
look at, he
the
actually exists.
class section, another instructor was teaching the class. I won't say any names, Redial, but so the class kind of got confused. They knew one of us was kind of a hippie and one of us was a cop. So later we're out there. It was actually during the eval. And they stop us. The class actually stops us and go, wait a minute. All right, you guys, did you switch brains? Which one's the hippie and which one's the cop? Because they're looking at Zig. He's got to be the cop because he's standing over. That's probably the funniest thing I've seen in a while.
It was. They actually thought that the entire weekend that I was the cop and Vince
Was the hippie.
So they're all being totally like cautious near me, and they're totally they now when Vince is like on the split exercise, they're balls out, with him. They're like, what the hell,
Students do some crazy stuff. The ones I like the best, and it happens almost all the time, is the saves. The students that almost crash but somehow save it.
Yeah.
Like really to lock up the front brake, and then they just somewhat. It's like a slow motion movement where the classroom they're like, oh yeah, remember to let go of the brake when it locks up. So they grab the front brake and it locks up, and then they know how to let go just for some reason, and the bike almost went down and they straighten up. And they're like, they don't even know what just happened. I'm like, you're that far from crashing and you saved it. Had another kid, it got hot in the corner, and I was telling him too, slow down, you're going way too fast. Usually we're telling him to speed up. This one was going too fast. I had to tell him to calm down a little bit. So he got going too fast, got wide in the turn, panicked, grabbed a whole handful of front brake, locked up the front end. This kid was like crazy athletic. So the bike slid down to the ground, and he was standing on the top of the bike. And it slid for 15 feet as he was standing on the bike.
No way.
Swear to God, not making this
Did it
up.
Mark Marquez?
Yeah, he was on top of the bike. The bike stopped, and he jumped off.
There you go.
And I'm like,
He must have gone to motor school.
how do we even? I don't even know if we can call that a crash.
Bike surfing.
So before I'm like, leave the bike on. Before I could even tell him, no, don't pick the bike up. He's already grabbed the bike and picks it off the ground. I'm like, don't do that next time. I'll pick it up. And I'm like, are you all right? He's like, yeah, I never touched the ground. I'm like, yeah, well, that's
How do you write that, huh?
a
Right.
first.
That is like when I was taking the R2 and Adam Herzing was our instructor. I was with Dave Woods, and I was also with Jim from the Paris. Motorcycle training, and we were doing the quick stop exercise. And on when you go to level 3, they have you get the tire about 3 to 4 inches off the ground, so that we get a chance to realize that your front brake now is 100% of your braking. So I come down, I do a quick stop, and I'm like, hey, that was a good one. All right. Now a little bit more pressure towards the end. Very good. Come down. All right. Very good. I got it about 4 inches off the ground. It was okay. Now a little bit more pressure at the end. And I come down, and now mind you, Redial is teaching classroom for the BRC. And they're all taking a break right now. So now you get like 6 students that are up on the classroom overlooking the range. And then here I come down, and I just do a full-on 12 o'clock stoppie. The bike's vertical. Boom.
Yeah.
And then I come to stop, boom, drop back down. And then and I look at Adam, and Adam's like, because you're waiting for a response. You know what I mean? And there's been times where, like, I during exercise, someone did something, I going, wow, this one's going to stump me. I stumped Adam. He's like,
What do I say?
and he's like, wow, maybe a little less pressure. So I go back. Okay, no problem. I go around. Now I don't get it at 12 o'clock. At about 10 o'clock, And Adam goes, "Okay, Zig, I think you're done with the exercise. Go ahead and park your bike right over there."
Nice.
We had that happen yesterday in the IRC. The guy on the Triumph, really good braking, and the bike's pretty light, but because of his arms were so stiff, he rotated that tire up. And I go, "Oh, that's." Allie's going, "Yeah, a little less brake next time. Maybe scoot your butt back a little further. Okay, we'll try it again." And it comes back up. No, you need to go further back on the bike. So it's just kind of it was a neat thing to watch because it was controlled, but definitely he was progressing a little further and faster than we wanted him to.
Right, where it gives you that uncomfortable feeling.
Yeah, you go, like you ever sit it down at when you're doing the qualifications at the end of the day, and they finally get to the braking exercise, and you're just a big lump in your throat going, "I hope no one really locks this thing."
Right.
Those are the worst. The last eval, and they grab the front brake. And
down they go.
Oh, exactly. It's a done deal.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? Hey, thanks everybody for tuning in. We love all the responses, especially from the instructors. It really helps the bike rally. Get out there, take a safety course. If you already have your M1, get out there and take the advanced courses. We really encourage it. There's the IRC, the Intermediate Rider Clinic. There's the ARC Level 1, ARC Level 2, the Advanced Rider Clinic 1 and 2. And then when you do that, you come out and then you go to the track clinic, the Total Control Track Clinic at Horse Thief Mile. And remember, it's 15 turns in 1 mile. Your average track, which is 2 miles, is 15 turns. So you can imagine the technicality of it, and I'm telling you, it is really going to bring you from one level to the other. And remember, motorcycling, the knowledge of motorcycling, it never ends. You can always be a better rider. Okay? So from me, Zig, and then from Vince,
yay, our special
and then the freight train, the instructors, and then of course one of our students of a few, and we need to get this fucking guy in
that guy there, huh?
Yeah, this guy right here. We need to get him in the advanced courses, but at least he was open up to take the track day and then take the courses. So get out there and remember, keep it shiny side up, keep it rubber side down, keep your bike maintained. Remember, a clean bike is a happy bike. We'll see you guys next week. Bye.